Good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm pretty pumped for today. Pumped as in relaxed. Now, those are two totally different things, but sometimes I go into Fridays with a little bit of anxiety because it's a Friday and, you're so close to securing the fate of your week, what you had leading up to Friday, and then it ends up just getting to you. I've had some of my worst days on Fridays, but with our new plan, we stick to the plan today and we secured a green week. We made real money. We made real progress on our combine. Red or green today. Sticking to the plan means it was a successful week. Good morning, Ben. How you doing? So that's what we're going to do. Stick to our plan today. Wait for a nice setup. Good morning, Tyler. Wait for a nice setup. Get in with our allotted contract size and accept whatever happens and then be done. I was watching Wolf of Wall Street last night, and that movie makes me want to just jump in with like 100 minis. But we all know what will happen if we do that. Let's see what we got going on here. Where was that? We do need a nice win. However, what I need more is to just stick to my plan. With every trade being $200 and I take one trade today, if it's a $200 loss, I made money this week. If it's a $200 win, I added more to what we are already up. So that's right, Tyler. It would change my life no matter what happens. Maybe I should just take the plunge and try to get a loan so I have enough margin for 100 minis and just go for it. Being in debt is the American dream anyway, so either I can pay it all off or I can just live with it. This was that move yesterday. I believe Tyler was talking about it. We posted a screenshot in the chat. That was a beautiful setup. Good morning, Hank. After this move, we've just been going down. It's like nothing was happening last night until 2, 3-ish, 4-ish. We're still not really doing much. We went from a smaller range to a larger range. On the weekly, not that we're going down here today, but I need to start have a habit of taking all my drawings off the chart. I need to just take the ones that pertain to the current session off the chart, but I think weekly still wants to be drawn down into here. Like I said, not that we're going down there today. This is still, everything here is still pointing towards going down into this fair value gap. on the daily as well. We just have bearish fair value gaps after bearish fair value gaps, all being respected. I know the TGIF method or pattern or what, I don't know what the hell you call it, but it's not necessarily, that's just expecting that we're going to get a 20 to 30% pullback on a Friday. But I believe that that is only if the weekly candle has met its draw on liquidity. I'm not certain that that happened, so I don't know if I'm going to be looking for that. On the weekly for this particular candle, I would think the draw on liquidity would have either been this swing, or all these equal lows. We didn't hit any of those, so obviously we could get some pullback, or we could continue going lower, or we could just consolidate the rest of the day. But that's my understanding, is that TGIF is only if we had hit a draw on liquidity on the weekly. What do you think? I'm not I don't really trade that anyways, because I think typically he's looking for that in the end. Yeah, that's true. But what would, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really look for it anyway, so everything in here still points that we go a little lower. Again, I try to just do these little analyses in the morning just to keep building my skills, but I really try to refrain from acting out on them, because I'm really just looking for those moves within larger moves. Yeah, that's just, I mean, I agree with Tyler that a swing doesn't necessarily have to be the draw on liquidity, but I know that's like, in my opinion, that's just like the main area where liquidity would be. Yeah, I do see what you're talking about, Tyler, though. This order block right here. Came pretty close to half of that. But these like equal lows, those are too juicy to leave alone. Maybe we run down there this morning, take those out, satisfy that weekly draw on liquidity as well, and then get a 20% pullback. I don't know. I'm not looking for a move that large regardless. All right, on 1 hour, obviously, we got these. 1 hour sucks. Nothing going on there. 15 minutes. We have liquidity taken down here. We did on the 15 minute, we did displace down into that, kind of played around, displaced up, taking out a swing, taking out a swing. Right now, all this movement is respecting this move right here. So I could see that playing out and us continuing to go up here, and then this 1 hour fair value gap driving us lower. I just don't like when we have one here and then we have another one right above it that also was barely traded into. So could trade up into this one, turn around, or we could go up through this one, consolidate, and then go up into this one and then turn around. This is where it gets a little tricky because so we were looking at that 15 minute. We had liquidity taken, displaced up. All this was just trading within that displacement. But then you drop down to a 5 minute and you got this little guy. It was trying to make a high, low, higher high. This displaced down. Umar and Delta, good to see you guys. So yesterday we had that pretty large move, and then we got in on the large move that morning, that first downward move created. I really want to try to just watch for these smaller moves within the bigger move, because it's the same. I'm making the same amount of money. So we had this displacement up, so just buying right there and targeting the high and getting that quick 50% 1-to-1. It's the same thing if I try to take a larger move on a higher time frame. And I think the probability is higher. Alito, tell me what how many contracts and are you on micros or minis today? What do you mean you don't know? Both those yeah, it's raining here too. Cold and rainy. All right. We did not check any news. Nothing. I feel like I should take these whenever they're there. If you got a fair value gap that close to a swing, I mean, that's a very low risk, high reward trade. We just barely tapped it. Only a 17-point stop. I think we're going to take, possibly go towards these lows. But then do we take out this one down here? If this were to come back, I don't know if I want to short that right now. No, I feel weird about that trade. I don't know what it is. I'm not scared of taking a losing trade, but something doesn't feel right about it, and I don't know why. I need to trust my guts when that happens. Because if it is a losing trade, then I'm gonna be like pretty mad that I didn't trust myself. And if it's a winning trade, I can accept that I just missed it because we can get another setup later. Something just didn't feel right about it though. So let's see what happens here. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I didn't feel good about it, but I want the lows to be taken out too. We left these equal highs right here, and I spotted that before I got into that trade, and I don't like that those are there. Right at all these ones as well on the 1 minute. I don't know, that this trade could have worked out. We'll see here. I don't know where my entry was. Right at 42. But I need to trust myself when I think that. I just started getting a really bad feeling that was not a good entry, and I don't know why. I think it's those equal highs, and it was only 6 minutes after the market open. I just didn't trust it anymore. I'm glad I stuck with my gut. We wouldn't have been stopped out just yet. We needed to go to like 73.25. Getting that close though, that's a potential. I would have possibly killed it manually and not stuck with my stop. Regardless, I needed to get out of that, not take that trade. McLovin, how you doing? All right. That was a good decision to not take that. I don't know why I thought that, because this, I mean, that's a setup I'm looking for. The setup is there, but something didn't feel right about it. I need to figure out why I thought that. But it's a good thing I got out. It's kind of weird. Technically, I'm not supposed to be trading based on emotions. However, I just felt very compelled to not take that trade. And I just needed to stick with it. Yeah, Umar, I mean, I've got buy side and sell side marked out, so I really need to wait for either one to be swept before getting into something. It looks like we're going after that one that's been marked out. One stop, good morning. This was just a big ol' fake out. Still respecting this guy back here. It's odd. Just tap that 50% of that move, but there's no fair value gap there to enter this one down here, but we already traded into it. So if we're going to continue moving higher, there shouldn't be any need to go there. I really want this 1 hour buy side to be swept before we make any lower any lower lows over here. I think that's a best case scenario so far. It's only been 17 minutes since the market's been open. We need to just be patient. When I see a setup, I'm gonna know that that's a setup for me. I really thought initially that was gonna play out, but obviously something told me to not take that. Glad we didn't, but definitely gonna take that out. That little move tapped the 50% of this. Damn, we got 26,000 people viewing right now. Not even doing anything. I have been back and forth with that. I used to try to wait until 10, and then I just started getting in whenever. On this account, I try to be a little more patient. Wait for the market to open and settle down a minute, or get a move before we jump in. But I mean, if I put a trade on the board earlier at 9:36, 9:37, because I thought there was a valid setup. For whatever reason, I didn't take it. Had I not had those feelings, I would have left it on. So, but I try to wait till market open. On combines and evaluation accounts, I'll trade those any time of the day, just depending on how I feel. Oh, this would have been a good short, yeah. Maybe if you took that up there. I don't know, Ale, if you were here, but I wanted to place a short right here off this fair value gap. I'm glad I didn't. Kind of want to put a short here though. If it was to come up there. Yeah, I do track my trades. I'm kind of in the middle of switching things up a little bit. $0.41, Tyler. I am going to just take a trade on this one. Put the stops at the high. Target this swing. This is our TopStep combine. Hey, you are green on the day. This just wasn't willing to come back to the 50%. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, we left that 1 hour buy side, created basically more equal highs up there. Let's see what this trade's doing. We came down to basically OTE. There's no entry there, but that's that lower quadrant of this move. Got pretty close to it. I'm going to put this short there now. And we'll see what happens. Highs 85.75. Move this like one tick. We got ourselves a trade. Like I was saying when I started the stream, is one, I'm trying to just take one trade a day. Two, they're all the same amount of dollars for my AMP account at least. So that means this week will be green no matter what happens with this trade. We are either about to be plus 200 or minus 200 but we're up like 600, I think, on the week on the AMP account. And that is it's a nice calming way to look at it, trading on a Friday. That if I stick to my plan, stick to my one trade, stick to my scaling plan for the trades, that we made money this week. And that's a difficult thing to do. Good morning, Knives. How you doing? We just took this trade. That's it so far. We also didn't even trade on Tuesday. I mean, I sat here, I just didn't see anything I liked, so we skipped a day. And I was looking at my stats for the last 2 months, and I've had a little different variations to this strategy. The setups are basically the same, but I'm switching out my risk management for the better. Anyways, my stats are like 75% winning days. So if I do one trade a day, we can look at that as roughly 75% win rate if I just do one trade a day. So assuming I stick to the plan, not assuming, I'm going to stick to the plan and do these one-to-ones, all the same amount of money, that's a profitable trading strategy right there. This is another one of those trades where the hell? Okay. Why do I keep I never have problems with Trading and all of a sudden 2 days in a row something weird's gonna happen. This is another one of those trades that assuming our take profit gets hit, I feel very strong that we're gonna keep going lower. But I'm not going to. You know, oh my god, that's so close. There we go. We did it. This guy's up. Let's just take that one too. So 370 on there. Oh, it went lower yesterday, Knives. By like, I think 20 points. So, and then it started to come back up. So 214 on that trade. Beautiful trade. Felt very good about that. That's the question. I have not been keeping track of that. I really need to keep track of that. Luckily, I have the videos. I can go back and write that stuff down. I need to be taking screenshots because this move, honestly, if I wasn't doing a one-to-one, I'd be aiming for this low. So I'll be curious to see if that's respected, but we got out on a good spot right there. This is why I'm targeting, if we get in on the 50% of the move, just targeting that recent swing, because sometimes we have a strong reaction off of it. Sometimes we don't. I need to figure out the stats on if we continue to the next swing, But if we're gonna go take out that buy side, it makes sense that we're gonna take out any stops beneath this swing. So that's what I'm banking on. Good luck, Lyrics. You are you're a madman. So you take your trade at 10 and then you just hold it till what, 4? I like this going up to buy side. This candle's reaction off of taking out this low looks like a small liquidity sweep. You're up 600 and you're ending with 61. That's tough, but 61 is more than 0 and it's more than a negative number. Gotcha. That's tough, man. I've held trades for like 1 to 2 hours and that's a long. Damn, Grim. Our weekly stats are looking pretty good. TopStep, I'm not going to trade anymore. I want to because I'm so close to passing, but I'm not chasing that. We're going to just keep doing what we're doing and pass it naturally. I have 2 weeks to pass this. Surely I can make $900 in 2 weeks. So this week this is our TopStep account. It's the 150K combine, whatever thing. We have to make 9,000 in profit. This week we did 4,800. One losing trade for 340 bucks. What's up, Caught? You just missed. No, there's not a time limit on TopStep. I say I have 2 weeks to pass it because I don't want to pay for this again. Not again. I had a coupon that was going around 2 weeks ago that I got a free 150K combine. Since it was free, I've been a little more aggressive on it. Since it was free, I wasn't planning on having it, so I don't want to pay for the fee to have it. So I need to either pass or fail this before that next billing cycle, because I'm not paying $150 to have this when I wasn't planning on having it to begin with. So pass or fail this, honestly, I don't really care. But we're doing really goddamn good. So less than $900 and we have a TopStep funded or whatever they call it. On AMP, let me pull up my trading journal thing. Oh yeah, I've never had a funded with TopStep, so I didn't know that they set you at 0. Honestly, I mean, your drawdown's the same, right? I don't like when it says 150, like that. I've always I think I've not cared about that because 150 means absolutely nothing when I only have the drawdown. But we'll see. One thing I was a little disappointed was is that they let you take your payout after 5 green days of 200 or more. So with this account, we can take a payout as soon as I hit, like, if I do 200 a day over 5 days, it's $1,000, but you can only take out half of it, so it's 500. And once you take out any payout, your first payout, your drawdown goes to 0. So if we make 1,000 in 5 days, request a payout of 500, now we only have 500 in drawdown. That's not going to fly. Yeah, and then taxes. So I'm going to have to just build the account up to over 4,500. So I still have that 4,500, or yeah, 4,500 in drawdown, right? That's what you get, I think, on these ones. Yeah. Tyler, I'm used to seeing negative numbers. I'll be all right. The numbers I see on my actual accounts, they've prepared me for a fake sim money account with TopStep. So we'll see, though. Every account, you always get those nerves and stuff, but I'm just gonna try to keep doing what I'm doing. Just aim for these 1-to-1s and go from there. So this was our week on AMP. This is real money. Like, this is money I put into an account, and I have it only showing this week right now. Last Friday we got a little tilty and blew a lot of money, and then over the weekend is when I came up with this 1-to-1 strategy and changing my dollar amount so it's always $200. And that's honestly, that is the one. Like, there's been several things that have been very good and I've made huge leaps in my trading career. This is probably one of the best ones I've ever done, and we've only been taking one trade a day. So we did 192 on Monday. Obviously you can see this, I don't have to read that out loud, but Tuesday we practiced perfect discipline and perfect self-control, and we didn't even take a trade because I didn't like anything that I saw. Next 2 days, and then today up 214. So that's what I was saying, was that no matter what happened on this day, as long as I stuck to my plan, this was a green week. Because if I'm risking 200 every single trade, the most I could lose today is $200, and my green days outweigh that. So yeah, the month of September, let's just pull that up. I'm not trying to hide anything. We've been over September before. I felt very good about September, but I had these 2 days in the beginning where this day is when I failed my day one of a funded account, and then I took it out on my AMP account. This is still I only track my AMP trades, so these are all real money trades. Took it out there, and I just started this account, so I started like deep in a hole, and we grinded that back to, it says plus 349, but this isn't including commissions. My commissions were around that amount, so we grinded it back to break even all month by just staying disciplined, taking 1-2 trades, handful of trades, stopping when the next 2 red days after those tilty days were manageable days. They're still larger than the green days surrounding that, but I'm working on that, obviously. So Alito, talk to me. You guys want to see October? Because I haven't shown you guys what I did last Friday. That's why I've made such big changes in my strategy this week, because of what happened last Friday. So it wasn't for nothing. It just really sucks that I did that. That was a very bad day. All the progress I made after those tilty days in September got to me. I worked my way back up. We were in profit on this account and then freaking threw it all away last Friday. I agree, Knives. And I just said it, but I'll repeat it again. This day helped me over the weekend is how I came up with this plan of 1 trade a day, 1-to-1s, and making every single trade the same amount of money. And that's going to help me moving forward because I have more green days and red days. If I did that, if I had been doing that this whole time, we would be we should be way in profit. Tyler, I know. Oh yeah, you had a bad day Friday as well. That was a tough day. I know why I was struggling like mentally. Just I'm not gonna bore you guys with any details on this account, but anyways, it was extra pressure I was putting on myself. I already had 2 red days that week. I needed a green day. And then plus last Friday is when that's when I was $60 away from passing those Apex accounts. And I went from $60 to passing, and then I blew them, and then again came over to my AMP account and took it out on this one. So we don't do that anymore. This trade is playing out. Knives, I'm gonna have to write this one down because I kind of want to keep track of these trades and write down how many work with the 1-to-1, but how many work 1-to-2, because 1-to-2 worked. Good job, Umar. You have a good one. Alito, did you take that? Hey, that's fine. I mean, look, I gave up. This is up another $200 from where I was, but that's not my plan. My plan is 1-to-1s, and that's a higher probability. But yeah, I mean, I could be up another $200 easily if I just waited. Man, I feel like a real trader right now. Just be careful. It's Friday. I know Friday's just another trading day, but the fact that we have 2 days of not trading, it sucks so bad to make mistakes on a Friday. I plan on it, Knives. In the past I've done really good, and then I can feel like my confidence and just getting a bigger head, and then that's usually when I get humbled. Right now I just feel really good because last weekend, because of the fact what I went through just 1 week ago, last Friday was pretty bad for me, and I felt like I'm not going to be able to do this because I just keep making the same mistake. Instead of stopping there, I spent the weekend and came up with a plan, talked to some of you guys, talked to another friend of mine who trades, came up with a plan, talked, like, talking it out, seeing if it's going to work for me, weighing the pros and the cons of it. And I put it in place, and then look at how we do this week. I don't feel like I can I'm not feeling like I can never take a losing trade, but I do feel like there is no losing trade that's going to affect me anymore. This is a really nice liquidity sweep. Displace down trade. We have a displacement candle up through that. I know, Alito. I know you can't. I couldn't either. And I have yet to take a losing trade on this plan, strategy, risk management, whatever it's called. We almost took one yesterday, though, and I was comfortable accepting that that was going to be a losing trade. So we did not get displacement up. I thought we did because it looked like it was going to leave that gap open, but we didn't. So looks like we may be going lower. Do we have any? Yeah, we got this guy way down here. I don't see us going down there today, but we could. Jesus, how is it like the end of October already? That's tough, Graham. I know it's been working out for you, but just be careful because I know the market moves back and forth, but there's days where it's not going to do that. We moved back and forth kind of all day, and then finally we didn't anymore. Now we're way down here. But you've been killing it lately, so gotcha. That's good. You've got it. All right, I don't ask people to subscribe. That's not my thing. I don't plan on ever doing that. But do we have one person that's watching who's not subscribed? Can we just get to 600? I had a green week. I took a green trade for you guys. I practiced my patience. I had self-discipline. We just need one. Oh my God. Thank you. Look at that. Got 600 freaking subscribers. What the hell? Appreciate you guys. And I'm still trying to learn how to do this trading. I knew somebody was gonna say that, Tyler. I should have known it was gonna be you. I've been hey, it's too late, Bull. I already got a screenshot of it, so we're good. I'm still learning, and I still struggle with my trading stuff, so it's kind of crazy that I don't know that people want to watch to begin with. But what's even crazier is where I was just 5 months ago, or at least pre-ICT, because I was posting videos, but I had no idea what the F I was doing. I was trying different things, reading books, but I'm glad I started this channel because it just started helping me with my self-control and discipline on its own by just the fact that I was recording and having to watch videos and then post them for people. And I didn't want to post my mistakes, but so the easier thing to do was to just try to not make mistakes. But then people here recommending ICT to me just changed the game. Damn, 138. You have been around for a little while. I think from all the people here, that's typically like in the chat and stuff. Yeah, Grim's been pretty early, and Mick Lovin was like one of my, he was under like 80 or under 100 or something like that. Zendi, on that journal, every day's been a little bit differently because I'm trying to keep every trade to $200. So if it's a larger move, I'm using less contracts. If it's a smaller move, I'm going to use more contracts. Like today, the risk was $200, but the risk was only, what, 20-ish points. So I think it allowed me to go up to 4 contracts. But then yesterday, we only traded with 2 contracts. Let me see if it shows it on there. I know it does somewhere. Yeah, I'll probably need a couple people helping do that moderator stuff, because I don't want to deal with that. So if I click into a trade, it says total volume. That's how many contracts were traded that day. And since I only did 1 trade, that's 2 on each side. Previous day, I did 3 on each side because the size of the move, and I'm trying to keep them all to $200. Monday was 4 on each side. And then same thing today, I did 4 contracts. How do I know how big the move is going to be? It's based, because my setup is based on the move. So I can go over that real quick right here for you. So let me turn on my executions. So I'm waiting for moves like this, where we have a move down and then we create this swing. And as we move up, I shorted this fair value gap here. So my target would be the lows and my stop would be the highs. So now I know how many points I'm aiming for. Future sight. Tyler, in June or July, I think that's when I was doing those big London session moves. All right, let's be nice, Alito. We don't need to go. I know it's easy and it's fun, but we don't need to go hating on everyone. So doing this new strategy, or I keep saying strategy, but I just changed my risk management. I'm giving up bigger winning moves like this. But to me, when I go into a day not knowing how many points I can potentially get off of a certain trade, like this, like I don't know how far this is going to keep going. To me, that's the gambling part of trading, and I'm trying to remove that gambling. Oh damn, Tyler, I didn't know you were watching before ICT. So I started watching ICT videos the last weekend in April. I remember my first day. I actually should go back and watch that video of the first day I traded ICT or just fair value gaps, because I was like, wait, how is it? Did this really just give me like a winning trade that easily? I was surprised that I just started watching over the weekend and now all of a sudden it just works. Then it obviously, I mean, I got lucky. Could have easily been a day where it didn't work. That was a while ago. Yeah, Zendy, obvious. I mean, you could see this is how I trade: horizontal lines and 0 indicators. But if that works for you, that's great. I'm not here to say one thing works better than another. Everyone just needs to figure out what works for themselves. For me, learning ICT stuff obviously has worked for me so far. There are days where I've thought, damn, like, is there something even easier than this? Like, is there something else I can do? But I've put a lot of time and effort into dialing this down, and I'm not saying that I've got it. I'm not like, I mean, I haven't, on this AMP account, I'm not profitable right now because I've made my mistakes. I think as I continue to improve on the discipline and the risk management, there's no reason that we won't be profitable. Damn, this is kind of what sucks though. I'm not going to act out on it. I'm just like yesterday. I'm just letting you guys know what feelings I actually have, and it kind of sucks that we took our profits up here. There's been plenty of times, even on this stream, where my entry never hits my stop and does run to 100 plus points. And I really would like to hold to those. I agree, Knives. I need to. I like just sticking with the 1-to-1s because it's something that's a high probability and I can scale it up. I don't need to make more money, or I don't need to hold longer to make more money. I can just scale up to make more money and keep doing the same thing I'm doing. Don't remind me, Tyler. Those videos are so cringy. Like, I'm tempted to just delete those old videos, but those are my humble beginnings. Not even my beginnings, that's just where I was in my trading. Hey Wayne, yeah, we're all done. I took my trade. We're just seeing how many points I left on the table. We're almost to 100 points that we left on the table. Delta, you were in a... Sorry, I was missing your... Damn, you took... Did you get a... You take a pretty long move, huh? Eh? It's right, Tyler. It's a lot different when, especially on days when I was clearly making mistakes, and then I have to sit there, edit the video. I have to go upload it. I have to click post it. Like, look at me. Look at what I've done to myself. Look at what I did to my account. Look, I blew another evaluation. Yes, you, Delta, you 100% just sit back and watch. What was your trade? Can you post it? I want to see it. I appreciate that, Tyler. Did you have you taken anything else? Hey, the theme of the day is let's leave money. We need to be respectful of our fellow retail traders that we don't know, and we are going to leave some points on the table for them to try to take. Ah, gotcha. That's what I was thinking, Russell. Although I do need to go back and I need to keep track of my 1-to-1 trades and then see how many do go 1-to-2, but it might not even be worth it. Plus, there's a lot of discretion involved because I almost took this short off of this gap and that did not work. But something told me to not take that. I don't know why, because we clearly did take any liquidity above this 1 minute candle and then we displaced down. So the move back to halfway, that's a clear setup for me, but something told me that wasn't going to work out. I don't know why. Points isn't too bad. I mean, look what we just freaking left on the table. We got out at 8:32 and it just went down to 7:30s. Left 100 points out there. Honestly, it's a couple things. When I know you were here back when I was doing those London sessions targeting like those massive ranges, like that was my target. So I just left it on there. What you guys didn't see is that, or you guys can't see this room, but I would set the trade and then I'd just walk out and I'd be like pacing and then check in on it every once in a while. Yeah, and sizing plays, that's the next thing. The sizing plays a huge part of it. For me on these trades, if I'm going to go in and have a risk management of 1-to-1 and every trade's 200, I don't have a choice but to hold to my target to get that 200. I can't get out early because I won't hit my 200, and I sure as hell know the next losing trade, I'm going to let it hit my stop and it's going to be 200. So if I want to keep racking up green trades, I have to let it sit there and hit the target. And I feel very strongly that these 1-to-1s are a very high probability. It allows for the larger move to go either way. We got out right here. This could have easily just taken out those stops and then ran for buy side. Obviously we didn't, but it could have, but I still took my money. 2 days in the last week, Tyler was in a position in one direction and I was in a position in the other direction, but he's targeting much further than me and I could still take my money out and he still got his money. Personally, the 1-to-1s for me give me, I think that they are a higher probability than when I was trying to target the larger moves. Then I sit around waiting forever and then it ends up being a losing trade, and I like doing one trade a day and that just sucks. So if I take a smaller trade and just make it the same amount of money that I want, I don't know. This just is obviously working for me. So I don't know if that answers your question. I don't remember what the question was. If I leave the screen, I fully back up the idea that when you get into a trade, there needs to be a spot where that trade is no longer valid for you and you need to accept you're wrong and you need to take your risk off by putting a stop, and you need to have a profit target where that's what you were aiming for. So you put a stop and a take profit, you just leave it. And I've tried the trailing thing. I don't like it. Didn't really work out here, but yesterday, perfect. Look at, if I would have trailed my, so we shorted right here, aiming for this low. As we were moving down, look how close we made. We went past halfway to our profit target. What would have happened if I trailed that? The trades I get into, I'm accepting and willing to allow the market to trade up between my entry and my stop. I'm not willing to let the market trade above my stop, because if it goes above my stop, I'm not confident that the trade's going to keep, it's not going to go. Now I don't know where it's going. But I allow the market to trade all up in here, and my stop was at the high, which look how close we got. So if I would have trailed this, now I just messed up my risk to reward ratio. I messed up my probability because I'm banking on an entry with a set stop and a set take profit. So that's why I don't like trailing. If I would have trailed this, say a few points, say I move it to 50 right here, the market goes down to 34, and now it comes up and hits the 50. I only had a 19-point win versus 48 that I was targeting. That's where I'm taking out the gambling side of trading. I feel like moving, if you're constantly moving your trailing stop, that's the gambling side, where I hope this keeps going further. There's a chance it could keep going further, where I'm trying to pinpoint, okay, the market's here, I want it to go there, this is where I don't want it to go, and then I can get in. Yeah, I could have done that one stop. I mean, that is a strategy, but like I've said, like you just got to pick a strategy that works for you. This works for me. If I do what you're doing, for me personally, when I have a strategy that allows me to have more than one trade, I'm just asking for trouble because I'm allowing myself multiple entries, which more entries means more risk. I don't want risk. I want the least amount of risk when I trade. And I've tried trading where I'm like, you know what, you read them. I told myself, you read the market pretty well throughout the day. I talked to some of you people throughout the day. I can read the market well throughout the day and be like, okay, that's a good spot to buy. This is a good spot to sell. When I let myself do that trading, I don't read the market well. And then I just start taking bad trades. But I'm telling myself, you know what you're doing, just keep going. And then I have a minus $1,000 day, a minus $2,000 day. So I don't know if that's what you wanted to hear or not, but we got to just do what works for us. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't one stop. I didn't think you were. I didn't think anything was like negative or anything whatsoever. I appreciate the feedback. Like I am very satisfied with this 1-to-1 and changing my position size so it's the same amount of money every time. This week we did $200 every trade. I would feel comfortable next week bumping that to now $225 or like $250 every trade, just a little bit, and just keep doing the same thing I'm doing. I think I might do at least one more week of 200. I really need to see what it feels like taking a red trade. I've noticed about myself, I feel a lot different when I'm have like 100% win rate for a week or a certain amount of days. When I take a red trade, how I handle that is how I need to decide if I'm need to make changes to what I'm doing or keep doing what I'm doing. Same thing with me, Tyler. Sometimes I probably sound rude, but that's just my tone, I guess. But so far, I haven't run into anybody where I've taken it rude from anyone, and I'm not trying to be rude back. I accept everybody's feedback, and I'm struggling with words right now, but I appreciate everybody, and please don't hesitate to point anything out or question me on something. That's part of me posting videos. People don't like when you're an a-hole to them, Knives. That's it's okay to be one, but then you have to accept how people react off of that. There's our 100 points. 32. You have a good one, Delta. You're making the right decision. 100% you're making the right decision. If I wasn't streaming, I would have been off by now. But I was just hanging out with you guys. Wow, Delta, you're being super rude by capsing later. You sounded pretty pissed. Don't have FOMO. Look it. We sold at 32. Or I mean we bought at 32 and this thing never went into drawdown after that. 2 points of drawdown after we got out. We all left 100 points on the table today. For me, I have to constantly remind myself I'm not in any risk. I've secured a green day. If I stay out, I keep my green day. If as soon as I click buy or sell, I'm now putting up that $200 that I just made today. I'm not willing to do that. And I really like God damn it, One Stop. Why does everyone have FOMO today? Just have you tell me, did you took your trade today, or you took a trade? You're up 315. Yeah, that I really like the way ICT has put it. I can't remember if I think, aren't you somebody who doesn't really care for ICT? But anyways, that's besides the point. I really like his analogy of, if you're up, okay, both of you guys are up 315, I'm up 200. If we were walking on the streets and someone came up to you and gave you $315, or someone came up to me and gave me $200, am I going to take it? I'm fine with just taking $200 and knowing that if I keep doing what I'm doing over time, that 200 is going to be 2,000. Exactly what I just did today. All I change is this number 4. That's exactly how I look at it, One Stop. I think I'm right around that number as well when I've pulled out my calculator. So anything between like 2 and 300, I'm perfectly happy with, knowing that I made it so much easier. Well, it seems easier, although trading is one of the hardest things to do, but a lot quicker than working all day. I know we all want more, but that's the gambling side of trading, and that's the gambling side we need to minimize as much as we can. I mean, Knives, I'm going to be doing that. There's no doubt in my mind. Let me, Joseph, which I mean, I don't know if I recommend them. I haven't had any problems, but I use AMP futures. Like this is who I've used to fund with. I haven't had any issues when I've taken withdrawals. I put a request in the morning and it's in my bank by the afternoon, or yeah, by like the afternoon, evening. So I use them, and you can use Quantower for free, I think, and then I already pay for TradingView, so I just have it linked up to TradingView. Tyler, what is I haven't looked up the scaling plan. I'm not doing that on TopStep right now. Oh, that's gonna be fine for me. right? It was super easy in the beginning, one stop. So on my top step, I'm on the 150K, and I've only been trading 1 or 2 at the absolute max minis. So this is going to be fine for me. This is insane. Look at my week's trades. I want to look at this real quick. How do we just held this all day? Let's feed into the FOMO. 150 points. Oh my god, I was on 4 micros. So I was only risking $200. 150 points times 2 times 4. That's a $1,200 trade on just risking 200 bucks. Oh my god. So yesterday, yeah, let's see. Let's see if we left any points on the table any other days, because I'm perfectly fine with taking the 1-to-1s. Yesterday, we sold. We left points on the table. Not a lot, but we sold at 21. Market. Ooh, that's damn it. That's quite a bit. I'm not sure, Joseph. I need to get some data on my past trades, like what I'm doing right here, and then figure out what's the probability of that happening and what can I expect out of it. So we had our stop at the highs. We sold at 21. We took like about 50 points out of that trade, and this bad boy went on to 103 points. That's 2 days in a row of over a 1-to-2, and with it being 100 points. This is a bad idea, Knives. This is a real bad idea. Okay, look, we didn't get 200 points here, right? No, we would have got stopped out. Sold at 73. Stop at the highs right here. 39. Now it did go. This is what I don't like about TradingView. You change the time frame and then it kicks you all the way back. Look at this. We're just bleeding. No, I know, Wayne. I do. This was something I have wanted to do, so I'm not writing this down right now, but I need to create like an Excel sheet and track my trades, and then track, did it go to a 1-to-1.5 or a 1-to-2 or whatever, and then I can easily, after like a month, go back and see what's the probability of holding to a 1-to-2. If it's only a little bit less than a 1-to-1, it's worth it to hold to those. Oh, Delta, you need to stop right where you are and go. Don't you got something to work on your house, right? That's all right. stop at the highs. We got out at 39. So this one, the most we got to was a 1 to 1.87. Or if we held this, if I was just doing a 1 to 2 every time, that would have been pretty upsetting because we would have got stopped out. But what we could have done is take half off at the 1 to 1, move the other half to break even. Would have been less than if we just took everything. That was Wednesday, and then Tuesday we didn't trade. So we need to go to Monday. Monday again, I took a 1 to 1, but I should have held to my actual target if we got in at the 1 to 1. So whenever I have a move, as we're retracing, I'm waiting for it to come back to the 50%. No matter what happens, I'm expecting the market to either go to the high or go to the low. And then that's where I put my take profit and my stops. My entry bases my risk to reward. So I should have held this one to the highs. But it was the first day of doing this. So our 1 to 1 was like right here. I think we got filled kind of bad on that one. But 1 to 2 absolutely worked. It's almost a 1 to 3. And what do you know? Another 100-point move. That's 300-point moves in 1 week. And my trading view just froze. I'm not looking at last week knives. Last week was when I wasn't doing this plan. I wasn't doing this risk management. I tilted on Friday. I'm not accepting the those trades to be in my to be part of the data or whatever for this. So if we so we took 4 trades this week. 3 of them have gone to 100 points. 1 of them I would have got stopped out. So that's 300 points in profit minus that like 40-point loser. So that would have been 260 points. Ooh, maybe I should just hold for 100 points. No, I'm not looking at. Next week I'm still doing 1 to 1s and I'm still doing $200 trades. I'm probably honestly gonna just keep doing 1 to 1s for at least a month or 2, and then I can look back and see if I want to do higher risk to rewards. In that 1 or 2 month though, I am going to change my dollar amount per trade. So the trades will be exactly the same. 1 to 1s, waiting for this displacement, 50%, get in. The dollar amount I am going to increase over time as we continue practicing self-discipline and patience. After a month or 2, and assuming I am logging this because I still have yet to write any of this down, so I have to go back and do this anyways, then I can look back and see, can I change my risk to reward ratio while increasing my dollar amount? And I'm telling you guys, the money's gonna be there. Oh, sorry to hear that, Wayne. I mean, I just did it last week. I feel like I've come along. I feel like last Friday was so far away because I've just made some personal growth. But it was only 7 days ago and I tilted. I blew almost 2,000 real dollars on my AMP account, and I blew 2 evaluations that were $60 away from passing, and I took a funded down to $100 of drawdown. So those days can and will pop up if you don't have something in place to prevent that from happening. Yes, sir. We all have those days. It's nothing. You're not alone. And like this week, I felt I did very well, but again, I just tilted last Friday. I'm not out of the weeds yet. Oh my God. Maybe we are going down to this. We're not that far now. Yeah, the psychology is a hard thing to do because it doesn't matter what I say or what somebody else says, and I can share my experience and what I've done to overcome some things, because those things may or may not work for you. But it's a different story when you are tackling your own personal psychology issues, because only you know what's going to work for you, and then you have to have the self-discipline to try to overcome those things. It's tough. It's very tough. In September, the days that I tilted in September, my wife came in and asked how I was doing. She knew it wasn't a good day based on my response. She tried to stop me, and I kept trading. I made it worse, and then I took a break, was eating some lunch and talking to her about it, and she was like, maybe we should just leave. Maybe we should just stop there. And I was like, no, I'm going to get that money back. Nothing was pulling me out of that unless I wanted to stop trading. It's been a few things, Joseph. Having a clear strategy that had clear guidelines for take a profit and stops helped me. So when ICT came, or when I started learning ICT, that I made a massive leap with that. And lately, what is helping me this week is making every trade I take the same amount of money. So I'm limiting my wins severely because I had a 50-point win the other day, and today was only like a 20-point win, right? Like a 26-point win. But both of those were the same amount of money. Risk management has to be one of the main things that will help you mentally with trading. Because now making every trade the same amount of money doesn't matter if the market's moving more today or less today than it was yesterday. If I get into a trade, I'm risking the same dollar amount that I've already set out that I'm okay losing. And for me, I set that to $200. So if we had a massive range day like we did, we had some pretty big moves yesterday. That was like a 50-point stop. That was only going to be $200 if I wasn't right on that setup. And today, 25-point stop, it was only going to be $200. So I'm taking that variable out of the equation, giving myself some control back. This was the first week of doing $200. So I think I need to do one more week of 200 We only took 3 trades this week. I skipped Tuesday because I didn't like anything. I need to review Tuesday and see if there was something I missed. So we're up 600. No, we took 4 trades, so we're up 800. Yeah. Probably do at least one more week of $200 trades, assuming I'm green next week and don't give back, everything. If I don't have 5 red trades, 5 red days in a row, then bump it to like 250. I'm not gonna do massive jumps because there's no need. As of right now, my plan is to do $200 for at least a couple weeks, then bump it to like 250, and then every 1 to 2 weeks increase it by $50. And then after, like I was telling Knives, after 1 or 2 months of trading like logs, data, whatever, keeping track of how many 1-to-1s worked out, how many 1-to-1.5s worked out, how many 1-to-2s worked out, then I can adjust if I want to start targeting larger moves and increase my risk to reward. But at the same time, there's honestly no need. If this is profitable, you just need a profitable strategy and then just add contracts to make it more money. All right, guys, I need to get off of here. I didn't realize it was 11. Today was a great day. I'm gonna throw the Discord link in the thing if anybody who is not on there and they want to continue. We typically carry a conversation throughout the day, especially Tyler here, our professional charting analysis. He's always dropping bombs in there. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for tagging along. Honestly, another one of the things, to answer Joseph's question, another one of the things that has helped me is streaming. I feel I perform a lot better if people are watching and kind of holding me accountable. So thank you guys. And you guys have a good weekend. If anyone's fighting FOMO, don't even look at the charts. You're just torturing yourself. Just walk away if you have those feelings. Don't sit there and watch it and trying to pick out moves when you shouldn't be trading. Hank, have a good one. McLovin, have a good one. You guys have a good weekend. Talk to you in Discord, and then we'll see you on Monday.